Welcome back to the Rugby Connection podcast for the fans, by the fans. Round 2 of the Guinness Six Nations has just finished, and I would actually say it was better than the first week. We are a man down this week. The Welsh, Italian, South African, whatever he wants to be, isn't with us. He's busy working. We have got a happy Englishman this week, though. Harv, how are you getting on, mate?
Yeah, it makes a difference to last week. I'm here wearing an England shirt rather than the dirty Scotland shirt. It is a lovely England shirt, and I am selling it. So if you want to buy it, please go to Alan Harv on Depop, where I'm selling it for a very cheap price. Anyway, yeah, I want to say I'm happy with the result, which I am. I know I'm happy with the result. We'll get into why I'm not so happy on the performance side of things, but right. I am in a much better mood this week.
Good. I mean, this is just a tumbleweed, just building momentum now. I'm loving it. Anyway, the results this week. We started on Saturday afternoon. Ireland, world number 1s beating world number 2s France, 32-19 in Dublin. 13 consecutive wins at the Aviva. Love to see that. Up to Murrayfield now for the Doddy Weir Cup, and Scotland, the streak died. Warren Gatland's streak of beating Scotland came to a screeching halt. 35-7 Scotland getting the win, retaining, bringing home the Doddy Weir Cup. And on to today's, because remember we do record on Sunday, at Twickenham, England up and running under Steve Borthwick, 31-14 over Italy. We're going to start there because Harv's very happy and wants to get into it.
Yeah. No, all right. Let's break it down. So I'm happy with the result. Obviously, a win is a win. It's a bonus point win. Yeah. We're up to third in the table, which is great. Obviously we took one losing bonus point from last week, which if we're going to lose, might as well take a bonus point. But we're up to 6 points now, so I'm happy that things have started to look decent. Anyway, I do think we do improve over last week's performance. I'm not saying last week's performance was bad by any means as well. Defense was bloody incredible. Mm-hmm. Jack Willis, take a bow.
Yes.
I know he was only on for about 52 minutes, but my God, he made an incredible impact. I mean, he scored a try. I think he recorded something like 20 tackles in 50 minutes, which is...
Oh, he was everywhere, yeah.
If you want to talk about work rate, you can talk about work rate all you like with Jack Willis. Other players I want to talk about, Ollie Chesham also went down for his first try. Jamie George was all over the place. Harry Arundel obviously got his first try at home. So I am in most ways pleased. I would say I was pleased with the performance. I think defensively we were incredibly solid. If Italy had the ball, we were pushing back 20, 30 meters, right? Uh-huh. It's kind of how it kept on going on the goal line, especially in the first half. We were amazing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I do think Italy took a while to get into the game. And to be brutally honest, I think the try at the start of the second half was their entry.
Yeah, no, that's fair. There's one name you haven't mentioned, and I'm actually quite surprised you've not mentioned them. Player of the match, Ollie Lawrence. How good was he? Was everywhere.
We were talking about Ollie Lawrence last week, and I said that we needed a centre who was big, crash ball, because if you're playing Farrell at 12, you needed a big ball carrier. And obviously Farrell is a bigger man, but he's not a crash ball type, is he?
No, he's not.
So to have Ollie Lawrence in there is incredible. And my God, did he put in a shift? Yeah. To be honest, I don't really have many complaints from any of the England boys. I think Ollie Hassel-Collins, he put in his shifts where he was. It was a bit quiet, but same with Max Malins. Freddie Stewart did well. Was basically perfect from receiving high balls and going back in. Owen Farrell for the most part was good. One complaint I do have, and I have to say the kicking game was very, very good. Mm-hmm. Kicking for territory.
Yeah. Kicking off the tee was not.
Kicking off the tee was not, but kicking inside of the 22 we put so many in and got nothing out of it. And I know that obviously we got the incredible Max Malin's try last weekend.
Yeah,
Tried it again. We tried it again with Freddie Stewart, and it just didn't come off. But then there were grubbers in, and you understand if maybe we had a lot of advantages towards us, and you can just sort of try it, see if anything comes off. Worst case scenario, we get the penalty. But
yeah.
I feel like a lot of chances went begging.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Actually, it was a strange one because you could see what England were trying to do.
Yeah,
and it's not that Italy didn't have an answer for it. It's just it just wasn't clicking as well to get that.
No, and I think that's something that we have to work out. But one thing I will say about what Borthwick has brought back is Borthwick has brought back this classic forwards play that England have so driven off before. I mean, I have to say, I think the whole forward pack could have been, any one of them could have been man of the match. If I'm brutally, in my brutal opinion, I know Ollie Lawrence got it, but 1 to 8 were all within the running.
I get what you're saying, because if it came up like Jimmy George, player of the match, or Ollie, you'd say, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, no, I would sit there and say yeah, and well, actually, especially Jack Willis, I think that the fact that he didn't actually have more time on the pitch is a bit criminal. But
I think we're overlooking how poetic it was. 2
yeah,
years ago,
well, of course,
game,
yeah.
Jack Willis had that horrific.
Knee.
His whole knee went to mush essentially. Yeah. Against Italy, it took him about 2 years to fully get back into the game.
Now he's back, and
he scores against Italy. It's stuff. It's the simplest things like that you just love to see. But
yeah, exactly.
England get the first win on the birthday.
So, to be honest, I have a few complaints from England, and I'd say especially in the back line. I think that that's still being sorted out. A lot of people were saying that we should have kept the Smith-Farrell axis. A lot of people saying we can work off of it. As long as Steve gets it right, I don't mind. And as long as we have a plan with either, I'm happy, because I did see potential in both.
I'm not slating the player, because I really like this guy, but just based off maybe like debut nerves last week. Again, you said he didn't really do much this week. Do you think Henry Arundel should start over Hassel Collins in 2 weeks' time?
I think that I'm not sure, actually, because obviously I know Henry Arundel scored. Didn't have to do a lot for it. Obviously, I think Alex Mitchell he kind of orchestrated that try.
Yeah. Again, I'm not bashing Hassel.
I don't think that I wouldn't be against him playing, but I think that Ollie Hassel Collins, he did a silent good job today. I don't think they went very noticed, but it was. Fair. But I think he pulled his solid weight. Going on to Italy, I mean, I know I've basically just talked out my ass about England. Going on to Italy, I'm a bit disappointed by them, really.
You noticed it surge during the game.
Yeah, well, first of all, the first thing I noticed is that every scrum, every maul went heavily in England's favour.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually notice this. There was a 30-kilogram difference between each forward pack.
Oh, that's a lot, especially.
Yeah, I know. And in the favour of England. And, it's a bit of a shame, really, because I think the Italian back row actually today really, really played well. Negri, Brex were all very good. Obviously, Lamaro had to come off early.
Yeah, he got he was getting.
It was terrible. One thing I will not say was too nice was Negri absolutely smacking Owen Farrell into oblivion before then pushing his face into the ground.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, Negri just ran full pelt at Owen Farrell.
It was incredible. I mean, it was an incredible tackle. I'll give that to him.
Got him to the ground, and instead of just like standing up, dusting yourself off, get ready for the next phase, he had Owen Farrell by the collar, other hand, big, meaty, shovel hand, and the face, and
it kind of broke out into a bit of afters, and then ref just said, right, we'll give the penalty for the knock on, and you think, obviously the ref is called TMO when he feels like it, and I don't have any issues with that. However, I do think that there should have been a little something with the grabbing of the face. I'm not going to say the referee too much, but I'm going to say as well the Van Poorvliet try that was ruled out should have stood.
Interesting.
Basically he ruled out for obstruction. Ollie Lawrence did take out the man accidentally. I think
you've seen a pushing motion.
No, I think that whether it was accidental or not, but I also don't think it would have ruined any play. I don't think it would.
It's a tricky one because
he was behind Stewart.
Yeah.
So it was behind Stewart. So I think that Stewart, the pass would have gone completely through him, whether he was there or not.
Interesting, but anyway, England got their first win under Steve Borthwick.
Exactly, and I'm happy. And as if some of you follow the football TikTok, as Jonathan Morley says, the season starts now.
I can't believe you just referenced that. Anyway, we're going on to me being all happy and Gus this week because I did say emotions were going to run high. I didn't think we'd go that hard though, and I'm glad we did because oh my God, we dominated Wales. Start to finish, we had one blip, and it was 30 minutes in, and George Turner got a yellow card, and that's where Wales got their try, their only try of the game, might I add. And then second half, he was the artiste, Finn Russell. He was everywhere. Kyle Steyn getting 2 tries off Finn Russell. Duhan van der Merwe didn't score, but he was just causing bother everywhere. And a man I'm so glad got our bonus point try because I feel like he's deserved it. I know you're a big fan of him as well. Blair Kinghorn. I thought you were going to speak there. Never mind.
I think he's all right, yeah.
No, I thought you liked him. But anyway.
In an Edinburgh jersey, yeah. All you like, yeah.
No, but I think it was really great to see because obviously Hoggy came off very early. And then Blair Kinghorn, I feel like he gets too much slate as well. Like if he plays 10, he's not Finn, and if he plays at fullback, but he's not Hoggy. Shut up, he's Blair Kinghorn. I don't like these comparison things. It never works. What was the one last year? Lewis Rees-Sammett's the next Shane Williams.
Oh God, look at him now. He's not even in the Wales squad.
Exactly. Anyway, don't compare to your predecessor because it doesn't work. They're their own individual. It's like Marcus Smith and Johnny Wilkinson. They are leaps and bounds different.
They're not the same player, man. They're not the same player.
They wear the same number. That's your similarities done. That's the end of the similarities.
But you could say like, oh, Jack Noel and Jason Robinson wore the same number. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's so stupid.
Yeah,
it makes no sense. Anyway, back to the positives. I mean. Again, like you said about the England team, I don't think Finn did get player of the match, and it could have been any of the forwards. It could have been Duhan. It could have been Kyle Steyn for his 2 tries. Just the whole team, it just clicked very well together, and I can't stop smiling. I loved every minute of it, and to get maximum points for the first 2 rounds, first time in 27 years we've won the first 2 opening rounds. Warren Gatlin's undefeated streak comes to an end in Jurassic fashion, and just to cheer up Harv, Dan Bigger at his words as well.
You know what? Obviously, I was probably a bit more supportive of Dan Bigger than I would be on usual weeks this week. That was a push, but you know what? It is Scotland, so I think that was justified. Anyway, no, fair enough from Scotland. I mean. They are just playing bloody well, aren't they? To be honest, I don't think I could say a word wrong about them. I mean, their forward pack is incredible. I think they go very, very, very unnoticed. I don't think they have as much individual talent as they work as a pack. You can talk about individual forwards all you like. When you look in the England camp, the Ireland camp, the France camp. Your Itojes, your Ty Furlongs, you can talk about individual talent. Scotland work as a group.
As a cohesion, yeah.
And I think that's what works best about it. Finn Russell's just a don, isn't he? Like he's
Yes.
like I don't have any words. Like, first of all, I will say Twitter is the most horrible place if you want to be offended.
Yeah, don't go on Twitter if you take things to heart.
And some of the stuff I was saying about Finn Russell being the best 10 in the world, he's good, but please just shut up.
I mean, I think he is, but I don't like go around. Like,
No, you know, I've seen enough bollocks on Twitter in my lifetime, and I think this might be the worst. So
I've seen some pretty hot takes as well. Don't worry.
Finn Russell's a good player. He's got some good highlights.
But
if you think about what makes a 10, he's lacking a few qualities. I'm not saying all of them. He's actually got a lot of them and more. He lacks just a few to make him a legendary 10, in my opinion.
He is now in the top 5 all-time point scorers for Scotland.
Fair
Massive, but when they show you it, because obviously they have to show who's won and so on. So he's just overtaken the legend that's Andy Irvine in 4th. I think he's on like 258 points, something like roughly that number. And then in 3rd place is Gavin Hastings on like 600 odd points. So like, yeah, well done on being in the top 5, but the gap between the top 3 and then Finn is
who's above Gavin Hastings for just for reference?
Chris Paterson's number 1. Chris Paterson's
it'd be like 800 or something, would it?
809, I think it is, to be exact. Just to
I was very close.
I'm quite proud of you for that. I can't remember for the life of me who's in 2nd. I did share it though, but I can't.
Fair enough. No, but yeah. I think as much as we talk about Scotland, Wales are a bit shit, aren't they? Like that's just
horrifically bad.
I think I thought purely for this week, and I know that I knew Wales were bad, but I thought to myself, right, you know, Gatland's never lost to Scotland. Wales have always been a bogey team for Scotland. Like, when was actually the last, apart from maybe 2020?
When was the last time with Wales?
Yeah, like 2008 or something.
No, it was the bit that caught me off guard this week, building up to it, was like the whole Gatland's undefeated in Scotland. That can't be right, because I've been at Murrayfield when Gatland was in charge and we beat them, but it was the Lions years, so it was Rob Howley that was head coach. So 2013, I think we won, and I want to say 2017, because there's 3 or 4 different games that I remember vividly.
No, fair enough then.
So I want to say, like, it's not been that long.
Okay, then that's not bad. I was thinking it'd be worse, but Wales have always somehow pulled off a win against Scotland. I mean,
especially recently when it's like Scotland beat England, and then
even last year. I mean, Scotland were going into its heavy favourites. Wales were poo, and they beat you. And I know it was at the in Cardiff, and you know, everyone says, "Oh, it's a fortress," or it's, you know, this and this and this. And I think I think that's the bit that kind of threw me off this year. Wales are even more poo, and it was at Murrayfield.
Yeah,
but I thought they would have put up like a bit of a fight. But Christ above, this was diabolical.
They did nothing. I mean, I said that their only try was when we were a man down.
That is, I mean, that in itself is bad.
It was like 30 seconds after the yellow card. So for majority of the sin bin, they did nothing. They were shocking. And in the second, their discipline went to shit as well. I think there was 3 yellow cards for Wales.
Yeah. Oh no. It was 2. It was 2. Liam Williams and Race Webb.
I thought there should have been a 3rd one. Never mind. Anyway, but it was just nothing felt right. The bit that's confusing me, and this is going to probably catch all rugby fans off guard, Warren Gatland's Wales has conceded 30 points twice in 2 weeks. Maybe Sean Edwards was the mastermind behind it all.
You know what? This is probably the first time I've ever said this. I was more scared for Italy than I am for Wales this year.
Yeah.
Wales is always a big match for England. Well, to be honest, every game's a big match, but Wales is
No,
always a big match for England because that's been quite a recent rivalry.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it.
I'm not feeling it this year. I think this is a throw. Not being rude, I feel like Wales are going to get a wooden spoon.
Yeah.
And England, you're taking it game by game.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. I don't think you're in the title hunt.
No, I wouldn't think so. But I think third would be a pretty good.
Yeah. So you're just kind of there, whereas Wales have. Although Wales now have nothing to lose, so they could be dangerous.
They could throw our ass, but I just don't think they have the quality. Like,
no, they don't.
I mean, the first lineup was, they talked about experience over youth, which was fine, apart from the fact they got pummeled.
Yep.
So then they went for a bit of a change up this week
with all the youth, and it didn't work.
It didn't work. So where do you draw the line, Gats? I know that you've been out of the game for 2 years. 3 years, actually.
No, I was in Super Rugby.
I mean, out of the Wales game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know that he's been out of Wales for 3 years now. I know that obviously he got to deal with some of the Lions players over 2021, but that was by it.
Yeah, but the Lions coaching staff was a mix of the best of the best, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know really. I think Wales are in a bit of a pickle. I know that we are obviously what's it called? We're not in the greatest of shape. But
this is we spoke about this last week when Ken Owen said, "Oh, it's a new coaching staff." No, it's not.
It's actually a lot of the same. Yeah, it's
very same. It's very
the same coaching staff plus Gatland.
No, I mean, like it's the same players that won all these titles under Gatland. It's the same coach. So it's not new, is it?
Not really.
You know how Gatland operates. Hypothetically, if Eddie Jones was to walk back into England tomorrow and then you get beat the following week, you're not going to say it's a new system. It's the same system as Eddie Jones.
It's the same system that wasn't working.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to say it wasn't working because I didn't like Eddie's system. But anyway. Right. But shall we move on to the big pappy?
Yes, the big meaty clash that happened in Dublin. And I don't even know where to go with it. I mean, I want to start off with the first try of the game from Hugo Keenan because I don't know what Finlay Bellham's seen, and I'm not complaining because if you watch it on TV, it quite clearly looks like it's going to go down the line to James Lowe, make a couple more meters, and then bring it back in. Quite a simple play. Nobody is against that. And it goes Connor Murray, Caelan Doris, stop, ruck. Connor Murray's going to pop it to Finlay Bellham, and I'm all right, here we go. And then Finlay Bellham just goes, no, back inside. Out of nowhere, here comes Hugo Keenan and just splits France apart.
But Ireland have been good at this, though. That's the thing.
I know.
I hate using the chess analogy, but they play the forwards like pawns to open up for their bigger pieces.
Yeah. It's like there's a thing Ireland have always done, and Leinster do it as well, because obviously they've got Sexton.
Yeah.
It's the loop around that Sexton does. I love it. It's simple, and yet nobody can stop it.
We were doing this at under 13, and Ireland is still doing it now.
I'm glad you kind of referenced that, because I remember being at school and my rugby coach, he used to proper take it serious as if we were professionals. Like Thursday, we'd get out of class and it'd be like tactics on a whiteboard. They didn't work, but anyway, and he was on about the All Blacks at the time, because obviously All Blacks back. Yeah. And he was like, "What is it the All Blacks do so well?" And somebody was like, "It's the fancy passes, it's the out the backs." It's not. That All Blacks team played the simplest rugby, and it worked.
They were good at it.
Yeah, and that's all it is, and that's the same for Ireland now. That like you just said, everyone did a switch or a loop around at under 13. Does it work? Not when you're under 13 and you've got somebody trying to steal all the glory. But when you're all professional and you're all wanting the same result, it does work, and it looks beautiful every time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they do make everything, even the simplest things, look incredible.
They do, and I do love that story about Andy Farrell with his grandchild.
Oh no, yeah. To be fair, that's a bit that is a bit of banter actually. I do.
I do rate that. Yeah. So
Fair play to Andy for that. I guess Well, I mean, if we talk about a few things, a few more events that happened in the match anyway. James Lowe's try, obviously, let's just say, shouldn't have counted.
no, there's when you watch it live, you're like, oh, beautiful finish.
And actually, the TMO angles all said yeah.
And then, obviously, social media always finds something.
Well, I've found this. To be honest, I've found this with most sports. Football, anything else, right? Is that TV won't pick it up, or the ref won't pick it up.
Yeah.
And then after, it's blind obvious.
Yeah, it
is, and that it's a pain. It really is, and I think that I'm not saying that TMO needs to improve or change because it's worked fine. Ever since it's been introduced into rugby, but they really should. I mean, I'm saying that's on the TMO staff.
I know. I don't.
I mean, listen, it's not as bad as some of the ones you see in football. Like, they do not know how to use VAR correctly. Rugby knows how to use TMO, and 95% of the time they use it incredibly. They use it to perfection. This is just one of those 5%ers.
Exactly. But I mean, we're going to talk about one more try from this game because again,
you know what? I was actually going to talk about a no try, and I'm going to talk about Antoine Dupont's incredible tackle on was it Mac?
It was on Mac.
It was on Mac. But how are you humanly possible? Mac's basically diving over the try line, and you're still able to pull him back,
just hold him up, and not even like hold him, just like. And
he's a little man, Antoine. Like he's not, he's not an Eben Etzebeth. He's not a Charles Olivier. He's a little man.
He's sturdy. Is the best way I can describe him.
He's like a rock, isn't he? Like small but absolutely solid.
It's frightening, but I will praise Mac because he had poked fun at himself on Instagram about it. Like there's tons of memes about it already because it was going to happen. There's one Ireland, like it's Mac and it's Ireland's Triple Crown, and DuPont is Scotland. And it's like, hold on, wait a minute. There's trying to save money, and then DuPont's like beers. So it's stuff, and I love that. And yeah, fair play Mac for poking fun of himself because we love that.
Yeah, exactly. But go on, talk about your try.
Gary Ringrose. Somebody stop him, please. He just shrugged off everyone. There was a beautiful offload to set it up, but Gary Ringrose had a lot of work to still be done, and he done it with ease. He is arguably the best centre in world rugby right now.
I mean, Gaza is the top G.
Didn't know you were that friendly with him to call him Gaza, but
yeah, me and him go way back. But I mean, we'll quickly just touch on France. I don't want to overstay our time limit on this, but France just seemed all right in the first half, and then did absolutely nout in the second.
They peaked early.
They could have, this is, we went into, after last year and after Autumn Nations, we were like, right, they're winning their own World Cup.
Yeah.
Like, you had to say that. But now I mean, they basically chucked it away. They nearly chucked it away to Italy.
Yeah. We all know how I felt about that game.
They lost to Ireland, and I thought it was going to be a much tighter game. I thought it was going to be something like last year, but just in Ireland's favour.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. Not even close.
They're showing cracks, and I think that probably me and you as Scotland and England fans could actually start licking our lips a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Can we start looking at what's
I mean, last year we got absolutely. I don't want to say that word. By France last year. Well, especially because Eddie decided to play George Furbank at fullback.
We were actually doing so well. You've not mentioned them in so long, but
Listen, Eddie. Well, I think I'm having more of a pop at Eddie than I am at George.
That's fair.
But the year before, when we came out of nowhere to beat them, even though we were crap.
Yeah, it made no sense. So
exactly.
then, you mentioned earlier that Wales have kind of been like the dummy team for Scotland. Scotland are the dummy team for France.
Yeah. Well, it could happen. Like it genuinely could. I think that might be the game for second.
No, I think this is going to. I am taking it game by game.
Okay.
I'm not getting wildly over, but I'm fairly confident now, just because there were two big cracks last year in the team. I know that there's players, like, it's roughly the same squad, but like I mean, just go online and look at, you know, what cracks are. I don't need to mention them. There was a picture last week after we beat England of the two main factors, proper embrace, and it wasn't just like a well done. It was a full, almost like father-son embrace. And the minute I seen that picture, I was like, we're all good. We're all okay. We're all on the same page. That's actually why we went to Spain. I thought it was like a temperature training or like high altitude. Nope, it was to keep all the boys together in proper bond.
Fair enough. Well,
but yeah, we'll quickly just brush over the table just because it is very interesting. We're only 2 rounds in, but we have got a break next week. Wales sitting dead last with 0 points on minus 52 points, like on the points difference. Italy in 5th with 1 point on minus 22. France are in 4th on 5 points on minus 8. England are now in 3rd.
I'm happy. I will, after we lost to Scotland, I'm happy to be 3rd.
And you're on plus 11 on the points differential. Scotland are in 2nd on maximum points with 10, and we're plus 34 points. And this is how close it is, and this is how excited I am. Ireland, obviously top, maximum points, 37 points on different. There's nothing in it.
I mean, but Ireland are scoring machines. Like, I know that they've had, well, let's just say an easy game and then a slightly harder game. But Wales were the easy game and we were the slightly harder game.
Obviously, look at the score. It tells you who was the easy game.
Anyway, if we brush over from the Six Nations, were some other games of rugby played this week?
There was,
and I'll quickly direct you to the Six Nations little brother, the Rugby Europe Championship. Very interesting, and you can watch it online for free if you fancy. I know I do. We'll just quickly run through scores. Portugal absolutely had a row at Poland, beating them 65-3. Georgia with a comprehensive win over the Netherlands, 40-8. Romania had some sort of drugs on their hunt for Belgium, 56-5. And Spain comprehensively beat Germany, 32-14. I watched a bit of the Portugal game because I was a bit bored and there was nothing on. And I do have to say, Portugal are a good side.
They are, yeah.
Very good forward pack. And I have to say, their winner, Pinto, scored no less than 4 tries.
Love it.
You know what? They've got Wales in their Rugby World Cup group. I'm backing it. I am backing Os Lobos get the win over Wales.
Are we just going to kick Wales further down? So you're saying,
I want to now. I feel happy doing it.
So wait, we're going to go in the span of 18 months. Was to Italy, was to Georgia, and to Portugal.
Yep.
You know what? I don't.
They'll turn things around eventually, but like we're talking like in the span of years.
Yeah, the Wales will take a while to come back.
Yeah. As for other bits of rugby, there wasn't too much. We had some Premier 15 games, which included Saracens beating Sale 71-5, Bristol beating Worcester 38-26, and Durham getting a win over Wasps 30-5. A very big win, actually. But in other news, different code, Rugby League, St Helens were invited to the NRL preseason challenge and beat the St George Illawarra Dragons. English Rugby League has been put on the map and shown the Australians that there is actually someone else decent at Rugby League, because I'm tired of them running their mouths. As for that, I guess there was a bunch of other domestic leagues going on. So, Murray.
Yes.
Oh wait, no, there was Premiership Rugby Cup as well. We've got a final of London Irish versus Exeter Chiefs.
Yay! I can't watch it. It's on Carter's birthday.
Anyway, Murray.
Yes.
Now is the time, because we have tons of other domestic leagues.
We do.
What is your random game of the week?
No, I think you'll actually appreciate this one, Harv, because you have mentioned this league quite a few times.
Okay.
It's a championship in England.
Okay.
The Ealing Trailfinders absolutely put a hurting on Nottingham Rugby, 71 points to 14.
Yeah, Nottingham they're not good. Like, they're not good at all. But
there was one that caught my eye, but 71 was a bit higher. So
yeah, fair enough. Was that the Cornish Pirates game by any chance?
Oh no, it was actually the Doncaster game.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, they beat London Scottish. This is all Championship Cup, so it don't actually matter. But I will bring you back to actually a league that has become a bit more of my favourite.
Are we in Spain again?
The Kenya Cup.
Oh, he's pissed off because Cam stole it last week.
and we have an incredible win. And I love the two names of these teams. We have Catholic Monks 20, Homeboys 19.
Unlucky Homeboys.
This brings Catholic Monks 1 point adrift of Homeboys. In the middle of the table. In the middle of the table. But you know what I mean? Like, it's still a big result.
Oh, God. We've got predictions, haven't we, Harv?
We do have predictions, actually. I almost forgot. Should we?
But I hate to bring it to our viewers. It's not for Six Nations because we've got a week off.
Yay! Right. what league do we want to start in? Let's make these quick.
I'll go Prem. I'll start Prem. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have them?
No, I thought you did, but
I do have them. Right, we have two games on Friday nights. We'll start off with Bristol versus Newcastle.
Bristol by 4.
Fair enough. I'm gonna say Bristol by 6.
Yeah, that's fair. Good. I like that.
And we also have Gloucester versus Harlequins.
Oh, who's got more internationals out?
I think it's us, actually.
Gloucester by 10. I'm sorry, Harv.
I have to back my team, but I don't think we'll do it.
No, bad.
Back the team. Harlequins by 1.
There we go.
Just the 1.
He doesn't believe it, but it's going to happen.
We've got 2 games on Saturday. Bath taking on London Irish.
London Irish by 8.
Bath by 4.
I can see it go either way.
Yeah, no, I think London Irish, they're missing out. Morisi, Ollie Hassel-Collins,
True.
White.
I've said it now. It's tough. I've said it now.
Yeah, and we also have Northampton Saints versus Sale Sharks.
Ooh, Sale by 12. I feel like Sale haven't been hit with the injury, with the international call-ups. So.
Yeah, well, do they even have the Currys out? No.
think. Well, Ben played last week against Scotland.
He did actually.
But Johnny Hill got sent back. He didn't.
Yeah, no, we'll give it to Sale by 15, and then we have. I want to say it will be incredible, but we have the replay of last year's Premiership final, Leicester versus Saracens. Think of all think about all the big players. None of them are there. It's going to be an incredibly bad game.
Saracens by 9. Woo.
I'm gonna go Leicester by 5. They've been hit worse, but I hate Sarries.
So do I, but
now we also have the Pro 14's awful little sister, the URC.
You like the URC, don't give me it.
I like the URC better than the Pro 14, but nothing will beat the Pro 12, Murray. Right, we have 2 Friday night games. We have Munster hosting Ospreys. Ooh.
Munster. Munster by 6.
I'm gonna go Ospreys by 8. I think that Munster will be hit more with internationals.
I thought Ospreys would have been hit more. That's fine. Anyway, carry on.
We have Glasgow hosting Ulster.
Glasgow by 7. Yeah.
Ulster purely because they are South African C team after Scotland. I'm gonna go Ulster by 5. They can't. South Africa aren't playing at the moment, so all the internationals aren't gone.
Exactly, which makes the next 2 fixtures very tasty potentially.
Yeah, actually, we've got on Saturday we've got Lions versus Sharks.
He's not here, but the Sharks are going to win.
I wouldn't actually say it if he was here, but I'm going to say Sharks are going to win by
16.
I was going to say like 30, mate. Like the Lions are poor.
By 30?
No, the Lions are poor, mate.
I'll be modest. I'll say 16.
I feel like sometimes it's too generous.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Then we also have Bulls versus Stormers, 2 actually good South African teams.
It's at Loftus, so I'm going to go to Bulls by 3.
Ooh.
Because Morningstone's going to kick a winner.
Stormers by 4. Then we've got the boys Zebre hosting Connacht.
Connacht by 17.
Connacht by like 6 because Zebre at home, they're like so close to getting the job done always, but
but there's no big boys. There's no one there.
I couldn't care if they lined up their under 14 side. They would still come within a try of beating anyone. Like that's just what Zebre do. Scarlets have got Edinburgh.
Edinburgh by 13. Nice comfy win on the road.
I'll also go Edinburgh by 18.
Oh, I like it. Back your team. That's
well, to be fair, I mean, obviously no Kinghorn, no Duhan, no Darcy's injured.
I was just about to say, can we get the return of Darcy though?
But we have sorry. You have Boff, which is just about as good, I guess.
We have the King. Yes.
We have Cardiff versus the greatest team to ever stepped on the rugby pitch, Benetton.
I'm just going to keep hitting them over the head with a mallet. I'm backing Cardiff to win by 11. I don't back Benetton. I don't know what it is. Nah.
It's because Cam got a Benetton jersey, and it's like the joke's
It's a nice jersey.
It's a nice jersey, and to be fair, he only got it for like what, 25 quid?
Yeah, I don't know how he got it that cheap. But
we're talking too much crap. Yeah, Cardiff by 8.
Nah, yeah.
And then Leinster at the RDS against Dragons.
Cool. The Dragons are going to get absolutely slapped by Leinster Youth by 32 points.
Every single good player that the Dragons have, which is basically just Rio Dyer, are gone. So, sorry, Sam Costello. But
he's a star, you muppet.
Oh, is he? Oh, he is, isn't he? Yeah. Oh, it's Hurahan, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh.
It is Hurahan. Anyway, Leinster are going to win by 47.
Bloody hell.
It's the RDS, Murray.
Watch this. The Dragons are going to stun the world next week. Just because
I feel like we've just gone too off of our heads for tonight.
I have one more prediction just to round up the show, just for a bit of fun.
All right.
Who's winning the Super Bowl? Super Bowl Sunday, as of recording. So who's winning?
No, I have a little £1 bet on it. I haven't put any scores or anything. However, I do think that I know that they're not favourites.
Oh, he's going to the Eagles.
No, I was going to say KC.
Oh, I thought that.
All the money's on the Eagles, but KC are going to get it done. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, against his brother actually, Jason.
I'm going to go for the other Kelce brother.
Are going to get it done, and you know what? I'm going to say the Chiefs will do it by 8.
I'm going to make it more intriguing.
Okay.
You know, because I know nothing about American football. I just like watching it sometimes. The Eagles to win by 3 in overtime.
Oh,
there we go. Hey.
We haven't seen an overtime Super Bowl in a while, and I'm going to be staying up to watch it, so I don't want to still be awake at 5 in the morning.
Bet I'll stay up with you.
I'm gonna have a power nap before. Well, it kicks off. It's supposed to kick off at 11:30, but it'll kick off at 12 because it's always late. So I'm gonna have a little power nap now and then get myself prepared.
Fair. Well, I'll let you run off for a power nap. This has been Rugby Connection podcast. We've discussed Six Nations. We're both happy this week. It's great.
Yeah, somehow we are.
We're ecstatic. We can't tell it, but by our emotions, but we are ecstatic. Six Nations. We've done our random game of the week. Again, tell us your random game of the week. Give us some mentions. We've covered Rugby Europe, as Harv put it, Six Nations' little brother. We've done predictions for domestics because we go back to normality for a little bit next week. And if you can't wait till this episode comes out, or you just really, really like listening to us and watching us, we've just dropped on it a new interview down in Super Rugby, Harv.
Ooh.
And it's kind of linked to what you said with Rugby Europe. It's with Fabian Holland. So he's from the Netherlands. He's played for the All Blacks under-20s, and he's the next big thing coming straight out of the Highlanders.
Love it.
Love it. Great guy. Lovely bloke. Yeah, loved it. So give it a listen, give it a watch, like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the little notification bell to get first crack on whatever you want to call this. But yeah, Harv, I'm sure I'll see you next week.
I will definitely be around next week.
There you go. And we have been the Rugby Connection podcast. We'll see you next time.